at the ROH first anniversary show, and this is definitely a match that I'm looking forward to. A strong style showdown, a rematch from last month as American Dragon Bryan Danielson takes on that monster Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe up in the series 1-0, and what a hard-hitting match they had last month in the Pittsburgh area at Revenge on the Prophecy. And this match has very deep ramifications when it comes to the ROH Top 5 ranking system, which is basically what everything's about, because you got to climb those rankings to get that #1 Contenders Trophy, to get that title shot. And you can keep up to date with the ROH rankings at ROHWrestling.com.
And this is definitely going to be a thrilling matchup. And if you want to know exactly what Ring of Honor is all about, you check out matches like this, because this is hard-hitting, this is athletic, this is strong-style professional wrestling at its best. This is not sports entertainment. This is just thrilling competition.
You better believe it's not sports entertainment. If you don't believe us, just wait and see what's going to happen in this match, as you have two of the absolute roughest, toughest competitors going today. Samoa Joe, a member of Steve Corino's group, a bruiser, a man that Christopher Daniels actually paid money to be a part of the Prophecy as their bruiser, as their enforcer. And Bryan Danielson, a star in Ring of Honor since day one in the main event of the first show, that legendary three-way at the Era of Honor Begins, and just so many great matches over the course of the year for Ring of Honor. And what a proud champion this man would be.
Definitely, these two, both these men are definitely bred to be champions. As look at it, Samoa Joe, he has the advantage right now on Danielson, but maybe not, as his boot is going right to the face of Samoa Joe, and what's he going to come up with?
And we're seeing some nice grappling right there. There you see American Dragon Bryan Danielson pushing that knee, causing that foot just to slam into the face of Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe, I'll tell you one thing, this guy dishes us out, but he can take it. And you saw in that riot, him just mauling the biggest fan that was involved in that whole thing. And I'm still kind of in shock over that whole riot thing.
You and me alike.
You know what? Let's
Dragon.
Ooh. But we'll just stop talking about the riot right now, and we'll just go back to the action, go back to this tremendous show that we're having, the ROH first anniversary show. As both these men now struggling to get an advantage on the other, feeling each other out in the early going here. And you better believe this isn't going to be a short match unless somebody gets KO'd early.
And that could happen, because these guys really know how to strike. And look at it. You're not supposed to bend like that. I know you're not.
Nope, and that puts pressure on the lower back and the leg as American Dragon fighting out of it. And Bryan Danielson, he became a star in New Japan over the past year. And what just a tremendous year in Ring of Honor. That low-key match at Round Robin Challenge, the three-way on the first show, the Paul London match at Night of the Butcher, the AJ Styles match at All-Star Extravaganza. It was just one match of the year after another for Bryan Danielson this year. Samoa Joe, what a debut he made at Glory by Honor, the hardest hitting wrestling match I think I've ever seen with him and Low-Key. And since that time, he has just been a force. And I got a feeling we've only seen the tip of the iceberg with Samoa Joe. And look at Dragon just stretching his face there.
Look at that. Ooh, that's got to be painful. As American Dragon, he just knows how to break a person down. He knows how to break down a body part, work on it, and he just puts people in incredible grueling submissions, as he's doing right here. Samoa Joe, and he dropped the elbow as well.
Dropping that elbow right to the back. Samoa Joe, you know, an incredible thing about Samoa Joe is his ability to just absorb pain. He can take it. It might phase him for a second, but he'll psych himself right out of it and come back even more dangerous than before. This guy's just an animal. And look at Dragon working him in.
Wow, I've never seen anything like that before.
Kind of like a Muda lock, but with the arms hooked like that. And there you see Samoa Joe face first in the canvas, and look at that expression of pain on his face.
It's kind of like a reverse cow mutilation with an Indian deathlock all in one combination. And look at this, he's going into almost like a camel clutch, but he's got his legs grapevine. Oh, and he gets to the ropes.
And that's saving Samoa Joe, and just some great grappling we're seeing right here. As now you see Dragon unloading with those kicks to the knee of Samoa Joe. Great strategy there, as if Samoa Joe, that's a lot of weight that knee has to support. So it's a good idea to try to take it out and ground Samoa Joe. Because if you take those strikes away from Samoa Joe, you're taking away one of his main weapons.
That's right, and for every strike that Samoa Joe takes, he can dish it out as well. That's why American Dragon, I think, should capitalize early in this one.
Oh, ow! What a brutal kick to the back of Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson sporting a new haircut, by the way.
That's right, and a tan, I think.
Bending back in that Boston Crab. Danielson close to the ropes. He's got to reach him.
He's got to get to the ropes quickly.
Joe will just twist you like a pretzel.
This guy is a monster.
Oh.
What is that?
Look at him sitting back. Look at that lower back of Danielson just bending. And finally he reaches the rope. Gary Moore demanding a break. And there you see Samoa Joe just plotting. He is so methodical. He'll just chop, punch, kick you, stretch you. This is not a guy that you want to owe money to, as he's got Danielson up now. Oh, backbreaker. Working on that lower back of Danielson.
And what a coup by Steve Corino to align himself with Samoa Joe. Christopher Daniels has definitely got to be quite worried now because one of his main allies has just left the camp.
Samoa Joe never behind the cause of the prophecy, always liking the code of honor or Ring of Honor stood for, but he's not one not to take a payday, and he took it from Daniels to be a part of the prophecy. His chops. Oh! What a slap. But Steve Corino then... Oh! What an exchange we got there, and that headbutt's not going to hurt Samoa Joe.
American Dragon could be knocked out.
Ray, can you believe these chops?
It was unbelievable. I definitely wouldn't want to be on the other end of those strikes.
But anyway, Steve Corino and Samoa Joe, longtime friends. Of course, they traveled together in Japan in the 0-1 promotion, and Corino taking advantage of that friendship to have Samoa Joe join his group. And this group, they do whatever they want, because that's been obvious by what we've seen tonight. High vertical suplex there, holds him up there, drops him down.
Nicely done by Joe as he goes for a cover.
And
Not enough.
Oh! And those chops just speak for themselves.
Words cannot describe the pain we are seeing here. What an unbelievable counter by Samoa Joe.
Picking him up in a slam and spiking him to the mat like a football. American Dragon is down, and we got a cover.
Did you see the look at Samoa Joe's eyes after he delivered that maneuver? He was almost like in a psychotic trance.
I would hate to be his opponent after saying that. And I got to be asking myself right now, Samoa Joe could be the Impact player to watch in 2003. Who is going to be able to stop this guy?
I don't think anybody can. Look what he's doing, just kicking Dragon right in the face.
Peppering him with those kicks.
And American Dragon grimacing in pain as well as anybody in the right mind would be. He is just taking unbelievable punishment by this monster. Oh, and a big chop to the back of the neck. Oh, devastating boot right to the chest.
And look at Gary Moore here. He could even feel that one. And the crowd showing their appreciation as pro wrestling as a sport has returned to New York City.
And look at that, he's got another submission.
I'll tell you what, you're not going to see stuff like that like this at Madison Square Garden.
No, not at all.
And just stretching that lower back once again. Danielson no falls on top.
Almost had it. We still got 3 more matches to go, but this is just incredible matches tonight here. You will not see action like this anywhere.
And look at Samoa Joe just picking his shots. Every one of those chops, every one of those kicks, every one of those submission holds having the most impact possible as he just measures the guy and lays it in there. But one thing, I think Dragon's out.
He's just methodically breaking down American Dragon right here.
But Joe's not into wasted movement, conserving his energy, making each one of those strikes do the most damage it can do as Danielson gets to his feet to get a bunch of slaps right to the face, and now knees.
And what's he going for here?
Looks like a big impact move.
Powerbomb. And no, he's hooked him. The STF. He's going for a submission here.
He's got him hooked. I think Danielson's got to reach the ropes. And that's a big guy to have on top of you right there. And to have to crawl to the ropes with all that weight on you as he's just stretching him. And Danielson reaching for his life for those ropes. Look at his face turning purple right now. He's got to get out of that hold. And look at the grimace on Joe's face. I think he's enjoying this as he's asking Gary Moore. Danielson could be out. We just saw Steve Corino be homicide like this. No. Danielson going, reaching for those ropes. Got him.
American Dragon's definitely got to make a comeback here, as this is definitely almost a must-win for American Dragon because he lost last month to Samoa Joe. He had the loss to Paul London in December. American Dragon has to turn around that losing streak that he's had. He has lost a couple lately. This is his time to make a comeback, to get right back in the thick of things here in Ring of Honor.
And don't forget, he was in that 45-minute four-way, that great match, but once again, he did not win. He didn't lose, but he didn't win. And Danielson coming so close to getting that #1 Contenders Trophy on 3 occasions now and failing each time. That frustration has to be getting to him.
Oh, this match is just brutality at its best.
And it's breaking down into a slugfest right now. Oh, Joe just unleashing. Danielson trying everything that he can to fight back, keeping on his feet, but finally falling. And look at Joe just standing over Danielson.
I mean, you want to talk about innovative wrestling. You want to talk about hardcore. This is definitely what it is. This is wrestling in the future. This is Ring of Honor now.
As Joe just standing over Danielson. That's some of that cockiness that seems to run in Carino's group. Every single one of those guys sharing that cockiness, having that ego, thinking they're better than everybody else. And Enziguri staggers Joe. Joe's down to his knees. Can Danielson follow it up? He has Joe staggered, and it takes a lot to stagger the big man. And Danielson now trying to fight his way up to his feet. Joe, once again, taking his time, shaking it off, so he'll be 100% when he gets back on the offense. And Danielson is definitely hurting. The crowd getting behind him. Can he follow it up?
Both these guys have taken unbelievable punishment so far. And
another Enziguri, and down goes Joe.
He might be out.
Joe is down after 2 Enziguris, but Danielson still feeling the effects of all that punishment, all that brutality that he's already taken, and he is trying to rally. He is trying to get up, and let's see if he can do it. Gary Moore putting a count on both men down. This is just turning into a slugfest. This is a fight. European uppercut. Joe staggered. European uppercut again. Joe staggers into the ropes. The rope perhaps the only thing keeping Joe on his feet. But Danielson taking advantage, unleashing chops, European uppercuts, totally taking advantage of the situation. Drives Joe into the turnbuckle. And Danielson setting up. Big forearm perhaps. Nails him. The only thing keeping Joe on his feet are those ropes. The crowd showing their appreciation, showing their respect for what these two men are doing to each other in their ring. And Danielson has him hooked. DDT. He's going for the cover.
And no, he didn't get him. American Dragon, what a flurry of offense there. I can't believe Samoa Joe is still conscious.
And he needed that forearm. Oh, look at that forearm. Hitting the ropes, going for another big impact move. No, Joe's got him. German suplex with a bridge.
No, he almost had him. But what a defensive maneuver there by Samoa Joe that he turned into an offensive maneuver as American Dragon just got dropped on his head.
But Joe isn't just brutal. He isn't just a monster. He isn't just an animal. But he is a thinking man's wrestler. He is always one step ahead of that game. He has great strategy in that ring as he's putting the boots now to Dragon.
And you know what's coming up here.
Look at him. He's got that toe of the boot right in Dragon's temple. And I think, face wash. Oh, look at him. He's starting right in that temple of American Dragon with that face wash. Hitting the ropes. Oh, almost takes Danielson's head off. And look at that smirk on his face.
He is dangerous.
I want to know who's going to stop this guy. The New York fans couldn't. The Prophecy hired him, and now he's going to probably end up going against the Prophecy as part of Carino's group. When's the first shot going to be fired in that war? And now he's already defeated Danielson. Is he going to defeat it again?
Nope.
2 count.
And this is just an incredible match here at Ring of Honor's first anniversary show, the debut show in New York City at the historic Elks Lodge in Queens, New York. And Joe, what's he going to do? Is he going to the top rope?
Joe is going up.
We've seen him fly before. What's he going to come up with now?
He can definitely fly, very underrated flyer. And no, Danielson perhaps saving himself right there by crotching Joe on the top rope. Danielson going up, and Danielson always delivering big suplexes from the top rope. It looks like he could be going for one right here. And, oh, yes!
Big superplex. Samoa Joe's down, but I think Dragon took some punishment on that as well.
But when you've got that kind of weight of Samoa Joe and you land like that, that has even more impact. Danielson looking to follow it up, going up to the top.
Big headbutt. He hit it.
Diving headbutt, going for the cover.
No, he almost had him.
Knocked quite enough. And right now, one thing interesting in this match, Danielson has not been able to do anything to set up his dragon suplex or counter mutilation, which he uses as his finishers. And now it's those uppercuts, and there's Joe just absorbing and fighting back. Oh, Danielson's had enough. And he's coming back with a slap.
Oh, what a slugfest this is.
And down goes Joe. You were just seeing two tough guys at their best. 2 count.
Fans in New York City appreciating this action. I'm appreciating this action. The boys in the back, I'm sure. These are two of the finest competitors here in Ring of Honor. And Joe
saving himself from that roaring elbow. And look at those knee strikes.
Vicious knee strikes right to the head of Bryan Danielson.
And Danielson staggering up to his feet, trying to fight it off. And Joe just keeping the onslaught going. Danielson misses again. Oh, big knee. Down goes Danielson.
Did you see his knee connect with his face?
What a classic match we are seeing here between two of the toughest men in the pro wrestling business today. Let's see any of those sports entertainers in a match like this. Powerbomb by Joe. Joe going to pick him up for another one. He hooked him.
He got him.
Quick blink out by American Dragon Bryan Danielson to score the victory. What a match we just witnessed, and I'm sure we have not heard the last of this one. Bryan Danielson sure to get a spot in the top 5 rankings right now, and what a victory right here. And I'd like to see a rematch myself.
What an incredible display of action we saw there.